Okay, so we found the problem. So the problem here is you have your cold coming in, feeding the heater. That's your expansion tank. And then you have the recirc pump recirculating the water as it should. The problem here is that there's no check valve. So when water is being used, the cold one, since the water's coming from back there, the main water line, which is that one, it starts feeding the fixtures from there over this way, right, until it gets to the heater. What this recirc pump is doing is recirculating the water, putting it back into the cold, which is appropriate, but without it having a check valve, that water is gonna travel back into the line. It's gonna go over that way. So when somebody uses the cold water here, it's creating a pressure differential that allows it to travel even further. That's why, especially with those toilets, it's getting hot in this bathroom. It's not doing it over there because it's not going to travel that far, and the fact that the water is being fed from over there this way, it's never going to make it there. But it is a problem in here because of that. There's also no way to shut the water to the recirc pump because these fools didn't put a valve in. You know, that would be a good way to isolate it and make sure that this is all there is, and that there's not a valve that's failing there mixing it. I'm pretty certain and confident that this is the problem. There's no way to isolate it. There's no valve for the cold. So we have to service this heater for any reason, or even make the fix that we need to make in here. You're looking at shutting the water off to the whole place now because they didn't put a valve in. So there's that. I think we got to the bottom of this. That's all there is to it. Alright. And here we have a trap primer for a drain. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we said the cold was going to be on our right, and as you can see there, you can see the 3 lines over there. Let's just go over there and make sure. So those 3 lines, the one in the right, which would be this one, is your cold. It's coming all the way from over there. And the 90s around comes over this way. You can see it starts to get smaller because it's coming over this way, so there's less fixtures to feed. Doesn't need to be as big. And comes over here, right, and the 90s down. Let's get over this. So as you can see there, that's the pipe that's coming all the way from over there. That's just a drop down. That's probably the recirc line. And this is the line that 90s over, comes around. This is the cold. If we were to touch it here, it's cold. Comes down, tees off to the cold side on the faucets, right? And you only need one there because it's back-to-back lavatory, so you can just put a T going both ways, and you can see it teeing off going over to the wall-mounted toilets. So it was piped correctly. The problem is it's getting hot now because the recirc pump is pumping it back, and there's no check valve to stop that. So there's that. You touch all these valves are all hot. And this being the recirc, it's no wonder why it was hot too.